Well, hey guys, welcome back to this series on purpose-driven work. My name is Scott Azadorian, and this is actually episode 5 in a series of videos on things that you can do to really dig down and understand what is the purpose that you were put here on this planet. What is the work that you were always intended to do? So in this last video, I want to share with you a caution for what you should look out for once you find purpose-driven work. And then I want to just leave you with some resources on where you can go to really learn more about this and to go and take this further, because there's some great resources out there. So let's start with the caution, and let me just tell you a brief story, and perhaps you can relate to this. Do you notice the people in your life, people that you either know or people you know of, that over time, as they become more successful, they're getting more boring? They're getting less adventurous. They're less willing to take risk. I mean, this is a really common problem, and I'm not making a judgment. This can happen to anybody, and it actually can happen to people that are even younger, people that have success very early on in their careers. Why do so many people who become successful then get boring? The typical thing you'll see if you go into a lot of households after dinner in a family is people are falling asleep on the couch. And there's a reason for that. And here's essentially the reason. If you really find your purpose, if you really find your work you love, work you're passionate about, I believe that over time you're going to become successful. And that doesn't just mean monetarily. It means that you will have developed a reputation, that people look at you as somebody that has an impact. You could have financial success. You could have built a company, or you could have built sort of an array of resources that you've acquired over the years. You may have owned property, started a family. Basically, you now have things that you have to worry about. You have to worry about losing. You have to worry about the damage that can be done to your reputation, the money that you can lose. And this is why people start to get way too conservative. They get risk averse. When they were younger, when they had nothing to lose, if you've heard that saying before, they were bold, they took risks. And even though they had very little, if you talk to a lot of people, they'll say they were truly happy. They loved what they were doing. And so, in sports, the analogy is a team that gets way up on their opponent, all of a sudden starts to play defensively. You cannot live your life, and you cannot truly live out your purpose if you're playing to preserve. You also can't do this if you're doing it mostly for yourself, okay? So when you build stuff up, when you build up a reputation, you build up resources, and now your main concern is how you can preserve it for yourself, I can tell you with 100% certainty that is not a person operating in their purpose. So what is the solution, and what's the irony here? Here's the solution. All of the things that you've built up over time, as you get older, man, that's the time to put those things at more risk. Now you have more money, you have more time, you have more influence to invest in other people, to invest in the passions that you have, so that you can truly make a difference. Instead of becoming risk averse as you get older, instead of preserving what you have, this whole notion of retirement is absolutely insane. This is the time now to go faster, higher, and deeper into the work you're called to do. Now, this assumes that you're physically able to do it as you get older, but again, this can happen to people in their 20s and 30s. Now, let me give you an example of this, because this is the mindset that we truly need to have. And whether you like this person or not, it's not the issue. Don't get caught up in the person. But the person's Elon Musk. And if you do a little research about Elon Musk, his very first company, believe it or not, was a very simple solution to a business directory that before his solution, the only way to find phone numbers for companies was to look them up in something called the Yellow Pages. So if you're younger, you probably don't even know what that is. It was basically a paper phone book. Elon Musk sold that money, and he took it all and he invested it in his next adventure, which was PayPal. When PayPal got sold, he took that money and invested it in his next venture, which was Tesla. The point of the story is that Elon Musk never took his wealth and put it into a safe place. He took his wealth and put it into his passion. Okay? That is the true mark of somebody who is operating in their purpose. And so I want to encourage you, as you go and you have more success, I don't care how old you are, take that and use it to pour into the people that are around you that can both help you further your purpose and you can help them further their purpose. You can do this at 20, you can do this at 30 years old, you can do it at 65 or 70 years old, okay? Do not go to safety. Continually put yourself at risk. Continually put yourself in uncertainty. That's the only way to live. All right, in terms of resources, what do I have for you? Number one, there's a great book on this subject, probably the best that I've ever read, and it's called Every Good Endeavor by Tim Keller. I highly encourage you, if you're interested in this subject, to go and read it. He beautifully blends work, the worth of work, and where faith comes in together, because we said what you believe in has a big impact on your work. All right. Number two, if you're at all open to this issue of Christianity, because I've been telling you that this is a big influence, I think, in much of the work we do, and certainly in my life. There's a podcast series also by Tim Keller called Questioning Christianity. There are 7 episodes. They walk you through why Christianity offers some of the most powerful solutions to the problems we all face as people. So if you're at all on the fence and you're curious and you're not sure, he has an amazing non-judgmental way of walking you through some questions. I highly encourage you to listen to that podcast. And then lastly, if you're really into entrepreneurship, there is another great podcast called The Faith-Driven Entrepreneur. Every single week, these folks come out with actual entrepreneurs who have built companies, and they interview them, and these people tell their stories from their own perspective. And it is one of the best ways to learn and understand what faith, purpose, and work are all about. Guys, I hope that helped you. I do plan to start another series, a series that's focused on leadership, that's focused on actual tools and techniques that you can use in your work to help develop your skills. That's coming very soon. But for now, thank you so much for following this series. I hope it helped you, and God bless.